but in terms of personality, it very much suits El Mapache.
I've seen it. It's painful to watch, and not because it's bad. And fix how the game's performing for the cast. Okay.
There we go. We've got some gameplay now. Longsword start for the Lucian. That man's going aggressive. He is scaling like a beast, clearly. Ben, while this game's starting, give me a fun fact about yourself.
I'm a master's electronic engineering student, and I mess around with computers a lot.
Oh, that is a fun fact.
But yeah, okay. And do you have one then? Since we're waiting for this to start, and they're all just being boring and 5-pointing.
I once won a fist fight against a camel.
What on earth? Nah. Oh dear. That is I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't even.
Are we seeing Invade? We are not. It was a recall and Oracle lens purchase from Mr. Ozinox on the Kindred.
They sort of walked in there to the red buff, then didn't ward. Now Christian's walked back and got the ward, but he's probably going to get spotted out mid lane here with this rotation. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now they know that he's probably going to be starting his red buff, given they just saw him walk through mid lane.
Okay. It is phase rush on the Victor rather than first strike. I don't know whether that's now like the standard.
I think phase rush on Victor makes
here.
sense. I think phase rush on Victor makes sense when first strike, if you're not into a melee matchup, because you want to be able to stack up that first strike, and that's a little bit more difficult against a champion like Lucian, that sort of has that dash, get out the way, and can in general just position further away, making it harder for that laser to just hit straight off the bat.
For sure. Yeah, I like that first strike a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like the phase rush a lot here. First strike, yeah. But Sen has got first strike, and he's stacking up already.
I think we're just hoping for a turbo resident sleeper bot lane from both sides. So I'm assuming with both the junglers pathing up towards the top side, we're going to have a lot more energy going on.
Ooh, some early aggression from Offroll's bot lane that has gone punished. Even though he hit the stun, they've gone out of that trade a little bit worse because the Janik Q went up, Glacial Augment reducing their damage, and let Senna just have a little bit of a tickle on him.
That tornado is incredibly hard to dodge now, with the fact that it travels further, but in the same duration, and the fact that that fixed travel duration has shrunk means that if you let it fully charge, it just moves across your screen like a rocket.
It's very quick. I would like this to be my official... Oh, gank. Cleanse used. Good timing. Stun going through.
Not quite able to pick up the kill onto the janitor. He gets away, but they are hard punished, which should mean that a lot of pressure has been relieved from this bot lane. It does also mean
Flacco getting some wax on.
Yeah, it does also mean though that Ozinox is now looking to punish topside, hopefully after taking the scuttle. He did win the 50-50 coin flip on Kindred Scuttle's top, and hopefully we'll go for this topside jungle that Christian left up to gank that bot lane.
Christian is going to lose his blue buff here, it looks like. So that's a shame for him, and he's heading straight there. But Money Man Flacco does have prio in that top lane for Psycho but Sweet, so he's going to get spotted out if he goes around, but he's not. He's just going to place a ward. He's going to expect it. That felt like it took way too long to take.
Yeah, it's but we can see. Well, he has a blue buff, and yeah, Christian does not.
Christian
so definitely doesn't.
Oh, El Mapache with the flip. Could we see it? Oh, we do have first blood here. The solo bolo coming out, flash being burnt. And no TP either for the Singe, so he's going to lose this wave when it gets sharped. That's not the ideal scenario he wants to be in. Viego unable to help out because he got a farm.
Yeah, and he's already behind. We can see, you know, a couple of camps from the fact that top got taken, and then he also lost his tempo running halfway across the map for 6 years. I mean, on the other hand, it is into Singed, so Singed doesn't really care. You know, he can be 0-1, he can be 3-1, he can be 0-5. It's still Singed. Still going to be annoying, derping around in your backline. So obviously giving away the kill is not ideal, but we'll have to see how El Mapache can do with keeping up and still being useful in the game.
We got a lot of biscuits in this game. Aunt Betty would have been proud.
Yeah, I think that's just to do with the fact that, yeah, like, so much of both these comps just wants to scale and chill until they're relevant later on in the game. So having that biscuits just means you can stay a bit longer before your first back, get a bit better of a spike as well.
Bot
It's
lane
just a little bit
unawarded
safer.
here in that tri-brush, and they're going in. Big stuns there. And the Anivia will just a bit late.
Yeah, in fairness, Jaina Primal did flash there, so which got him clear of the cage and also the wall, I think, at the same time. So that worked out quite nicely in their favor. But
The Vigar looks to be too low on mana to have the cage up. Oh, Elmer Pache going in. They're going to flip, and that should be a dead Victor, you would hope.
just about getting it. I'm not sure about this possession though, because I think he just killed himself.
He does.
I think he could have got out if he'd have just flashed backwards.
I
Or just gotten away.
don't even know if he had. I mean, he flashed in, but
I flashed in. Okay.
potentially could have walked out. But I think he still died there. That was a greedy man for the kill, but he got the execute, so I'm sure he's going to be saying it's worth. Although Christian Simeone is not the type of man to ever admit it's not worth. He is a positive mental player. He says it's worth. You don't question him, and we all smile.
The one question that I have is though that were any of his teammates there actually tanking to begin with and dropped aggro? Because if that's the case, then it's probably a misplay on their part to drop aggro way too early there, where they have so much health left over.
They were. I believe that they were probably not expecting the flash.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I think the Singed was under the turret to start with, and that's why obviously there was another turret shot, which meant the damage was amped as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. So second clear is now coming up for both junglers, so we're just going to expect them probably to just clear the bot sides, and with both bot lanes backed, they should just head towards top, both of them. Christian obviously will have his blue buff actually delayed here a little bit by the fact that he was bot for his first clear, which means that he might try to go for something earlier instead, or maybe he's going to go for the dragon because he has no reason to be topside yet.
Christian Simeone, he's pinging for that scuttle. I think there's a chance he could have just snuck the dragon because Kindred is 90% gonna head for that scuttle. Although I suppose if he dies, loses the dragon, they're significantly behind in the game, so it's not worth the risk. But I don't know whether he can beat the Kindred at this point in the game in a 1v1 scenario because he's got no ult. It's just that's all like mobility issue, and there's prio on top lane from.
Yeah, mid lane does have prio though with the Lucian, and I think denying those stacks is way more important as well, because losing an early dragon, whether you get it one way or the other, not really the end of the world. It's a little bit of stats, and like just moves the game forwards and speeds up the pace of the game as well, which is probably not really what either team wants. But denying that Kindred stack is just so important, because once Kindred reaches 4 stacks, you know, sort of set up to start performing in that game. So keeping Ozinox out of that for as long as possible is ideal.
You don't want to give those stacks away too early, although, to be entirely honest, I think there's a lot more emphasis put on Kindred stacks than might be necessary. Like, the champ will still operate without them in the hands of a skilled pilot. And Ozinox has definitely played this Kindred enough to, like, you know, be able to play around it. And I suppose the one downside is, as soon as you get into, like, those early team fights, there you don't want to be caught short range against that Anivia Vigar composition.
Yeah, I mean, Kindred definitely does a lot of damage, but it's just... Oh, we're seeing Viego, though, however, wrapping around to go for the gank on the set. I don't think they're aware that the Kindred's just sat there in the bush. Yeah, no, they have no vision, so this is actually going to be a sort of counter gank, which they're not expecting.
Is ult out from the Viego.
Yep, straight away ulting away. Just cutting their losses. They burned both their ults for off-roll Aquarium there, but aren't going to really get anything further other than the set ult out. The timing on that was so crazy though. The fact that Kindred managed to sneak through Tri-Bush and then into the River Bush, meanwhile Viego was just coming the whole long way around, so just didn't manage to cross paths. And they actually just got away with that. And now
Kindred mark on blue side Raptors is going to be an interesting one, because you're going to be heading towards that bot side anyway. And Viego should beat him there if he doesn't back in time, but that will also mean that the Kindred has a back advantage before Dragon, which they could be looking at very soon.
So looking at it, there is a quite a non-insignificant lead in the top lane of about 800 gold, and mid for Psycho but Sweet. But on the other hand, there's a bit of a gold lead in the mid lane, but less so, of about 500 gold, and the rest of the map is fairly evenly balanced. And we can see that sort of manifests as a slight lead for Psycho but Sweet overall, but it's nothing too impactful just yet. We can see bot lane and the jungler sort of with the supporter sort of posturing for this dragon, trying to get bot lane pushed in and rotate. Victor's already rotated. Meanwhile, Lucian's only just coming back to lane, which means that they've sort of got a little bit of prio here to see if they can do something, make a pick, make off-roll Aquarium face check into them, and get an advantage. Because I feel like the dragon isn't really the main goal. Obviously, getting it's ideal, but if you can bait the enemy team into coming and face checking you and giving you some kills for free, that's really, really nice at this stage of the game. But they're just going to let it go away, which is all good. And I think that's El Mapache moving down to secure the scuttle, I do believe, to just deny it away from the Kindred.
Oh, we have a relogging top laner who is lagging. Moneyman Flacco. Got to put some respect on this man's name. He is putting out some strong performances so far in UNL. A dark horse in that top lane. People didn't know him because he's new to the league. Same as Malp, the support, who also has been making headlines and catching eyes, particularly after that Game 1 performance in Week 1. But it's going to be interesting now to see how they can really start to try and extend this lead through the top lane into other areas where they're going to get that Rift Herald soon. Now that the dragon's down and they don't have to worry about that for another 5 minutes. Or are we going to see this Lucian sort of like press advantage, keep prio, and make it a lot more difficult for Psycho but Sweet to really start eking out those small wins and turning it into a definite gold lead?
And yeah, we can see obviously they're sort of working with off-roll Aquarium, working to keep them from scaling too fast and too hard by, again, like with the Cinch, preventing that stack top river when the rest of his team can't. And so I just checked, and the Kindred's currently on 2 stacks, which means that still not got that 4-stack range bonus, which is I'd say fairly important, especially as the game goes on. You just need to make sure you hit those 4 stacks, and no successful ganks and no current actual impact other than securing that Drake just means that Ozanox isn't quite there yet with those stacks. And this is the thing, that they've got a lead right now, but they just need to, as you said, really, really snowball it because of the fact that they have, I'd say, 3 fairly gold-hungry champions at the very least. Whereas I feel like Veigar and Anivia can sort of just survive on welfare and just build lots of mana and utility items and just stack up and be useful regardless of what happens.
Yeah, Anivia's come back to lane with that tier, which basically means that for a while she's just going to be stacking that, making Ps, pushing P, and really wait until she can get that Seraph's Embrace. That's then going to heal her for every time she uses mana, and obviously because her ult is just chunking away at mana permanently, she's going to be a Healy boy. That is one bird that shall be dying a little bit slower, even though she has such pitiful base HP. It's not as bad as the new champ. And speaking of which, what's your thoughts on the new champ?
I think she's very hit and miss. With her ult up, she seems disgusting. With her ult down, if you don't fight her open, I'll let you...
Oh, we're going in. Okay, and a couple flashes burnt, a cleanse burnt from the center, ult burnt from Viego. But other than that, we ain't seeing nothing. There's another unsuccessful gank going down. The junglers are probably getting a little bit frustrated at this point, you know? And we're going to see Ozanox start the Herald? No, we're not.
No. They did, however, manage to secure the scuttle because Cinch wasn't able to take it away in time, which actually meant all he did was provide a massive leash to Ozanox, which meant he had to spend very little time on that scuttle.
Oh, we're going to have a counter gank here. Oh, Ozanox failed the jump. But that's a very good Kindred ult. And Trev goes down. The center ult comes through for the shield. And Bishan is ducking, diving, and weaving. And that is 2 kills going down for Psycho but Sweet. And that's going to be really frustrating for off-roll. Like, they should have known that Kindred was there, to be entirely honest. Because the mark was on the Scuttle Crab, and they hadn't seen her bot side. So it's an interesting one there to go into it. Then obviously Senna being able to have that map-wide impact. It didn't end up being needed in the end, but it's always nice to have, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
Bot lane, we're going to have a 2v2 here. We could definitely see a kill. We're definitely going to see an Anivia flash, I think? No. Oh, big heal, and the electrocute damage just doesn't pick it up for Teasums on his Vigar.
The difference was almost made there by Malf actually standing a little bit too long, a little bit longer than necessary in the Anivia ult. Nearly got him low enough to be one-shot by that Veigar ult, but just lives with a shred of health. Now Veigar's completely out of mana is the other thing, so they kind of need to back, but they're pushed in, so Viego's looking to come and gank, relieve the pressure, so they can get their gank off, so we'll have back off.
We know the Senna's got no sums here, so... Oh, he misses the stun.
The red buff slow is going to be helpful though here, and he could even switch targets to Malf here and just ult.
He does have
if
ult.
he has it. Yeah.
It appears. This Jan is going to flash just in case. Better be safe than sorry.
The Anivia wall there, like definitely forcing out that flash is super valuable. Probably was fine, but just making sure there's no risk at all.
Moneyman Flacco definitely just mentally called El Mapache a virgin because he's playing Singed. And are we going to see Solo Bolo number 2 from the set? This man is so comfortable on that set, and then he pings afterwards to show that he's lagging. What can't this man do?
They're overpowered. Enough set. They nerfed lethal tempo, it wasn't enough. But yeah, no, it's they left that set up as well. That was like, clearly they had other priorities they wanted to ban, but they knowingly left the setup knowing this could happen, and were confident in the Singed count. Well, I would say counter pick, but picking it afterwards and hoping that El Mapache could like win that matchup for them, or at least go even. But that doesn't seem to be the case so far. Down 20 and a bit farm, 25 farm or so, and also down 2 kills now. It's looking a little rough.
And that set is definitely going to be a problem because they haven't got the best tank killing capabilities. Are we going to see fights here from that? Oznox can't kite from where he is. His ult's not up yet either. And they're just going to take each other down. Okay, and this kill goes on the Singed as well. The Victor is going to die too. And kill goes to Lucian. Okay, that's good for off roll. You know, you get a 2 for 1.
They got the center out as well, and it just didn't save anyone. It wasn't enough.
They did indeed. Cleanse comes out from Jaina Proudmore, but
we can see though where Christian suffered from many like unsuccessful ganks, and also his parving choices early game, I think as well. His farm's actually suffering quite a lot. He's down 25 farm, 30 farm. Top lane's down 30, almost 40 farm. The only place that's actually winning on farm is mid lane, and so kind of showing that plus the 2 kills is manifesting itself as a 2.6k gold lead, which is a little bit disgusting.
It is indeed, and Moneyman Flacco with that shield, not quite getting the true damage off, but the W also serves when you're soaking up that damage to be really nice for wave clear. So he's just going to get that lane shoved. He's probably going to stick around for another one, thinking the Singed might like, you know, he's going to hide in the bush. He's one of those guys. I won't say anything more than that. Bishan, we didn't notice you missed the cannon there. Don't worry when you watch this back on replay for a VOD review. We didn't see it.
Yep, we were completely oblivious to that fact. My screen kind of just cut out. It was a bit weird, but happens, you know, is what it is. So we can see the Psychopath Sweep once again are like sort of first onto this dragon and posturing for this Drake to control it. And they've got the TP coming down from Moneyman Flacco, so, you know, that's going to be really important. Singed on looking for the flank though from bot try, so I think they have vision of it given that they've pinged it out. So
and
gonna have to see
Jaina Proudmore is standing on a ward as well. He's gone to... Oh. They found him. They found the bald man in the bush. Oh my god, is that Singed from Arcane? The hit TV show? That's a big nado. They're not going to be able to follow up on it. Senna whacking away with that Eclipse, getting her shield off. Could be a big stun. Moneyman Flacco taking some damage. The W's gone. So that makes set a lot less useful, to be honest.
It doesn't have too long of a cooldown though, so I'd expect it to be up soon. But we can see them getting run down now.
Singed is see, they've got so many tools to just
sort out. This
trying to flip him out the hook.
though.
It is. Oh, we get one transform on the Kindred. Moneyman Flacco like that. Oh, drinker healing. He's gonna go down, and that's another transformation for the Viego. We've got a full health Victor here, but he's getting flipped into the middle of a team, and you don't want to see that. They are so low here. Can the Senna do anything? The Senna can, and Christian Simeone is still there on the Victor. He's going to ult through on Malf. That is 4 down. And that's a disastrous fight for Psycho but Sweet. The Victor and the Senna just couldn't get any DPS going. Is that going to be another one?
I feel like... Oh?
Oh. And
And,
Christian Simeone, is he going to get spotted here? Have we got a ward on Jada Proudmore? Oh, why did you not ward Q?
That's so sad. Well, I feel like that's sort of misplaced from both sides there, resulting in no kills.
I mean,
they're trying to go for the dragon though.
They've stuck around here. And Ozanox on the Kindred, I mean, they are probably going to concede this dragon now because of that.
I mean, I think if they'd have reset, they wouldn't have gotten it done, other than maybe if Christian hadn't have overchased
He
in the first
didn't have
place.
to overchase that center at all. They
If
could have
they'd
taken
all
that dragon.
stuck around, if they'd all stuck around and not reset, they could have just...
That's it, and
Flush that
it
down.
is Chem Map, the one that everyone hates. If anybody actually enjoys this map, I know for a fact you're a sadist, your opinion is worth nothing, and I detest you with every fibre of my being. So Ben, what do you think of the new map?
Nasty. It's just nasty. It ain't right.
Okay, good.
I'm hoping that Riot's survey results in everyone hating it and Riot removing it as they said they would if everyone does hate it. So we've just got to hope that there are sane people left in the world. That's the only hope we have to have. But that fight actually, yeah, it went really well for Aquarium there, sort of equalizing it. It seemed like Psycho but Sweet just had sort of a very not front to back team fight, which I feel like is exactly what they don't want.
Yeah, they did so well to just with the set and they did so well to stop that Singe from running at them, but they used Janna ult, they used Set ult in order to do that. So it was interesting. Then they didn't have anything for when the fight actually started, and once Viego start transforming, oh boy, he be running. But the one thing that we can't gloss over is the fact that Bishance got some gold in the bank during that fight.
True.
He picked up 2 kills, and you know what the bee does when he get his honey.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to have his carry boots on. He's gonna have to pull up.
All that magic damage, we're seeing 2 plated steel caps already from the Singed and the Viego. Got no magic resist on the board.
Yep, and I believe the Luden's Echo gives, or Luden's, it's not called Luden's Echo anymore, is it? It's called Luden's Tempest. But Luden's Tempest is going to give him additional raw magic pen as well. So as long as they don't build any magic resist, it's going to maintain even higher value for him.
That's it. Would you have gone Luden's or Shattered Crown here? I know that the Lucian has a lot of ways to pop it, but not too many of the others do.
I feel like often Veigar's full combo will come after a delay of some sort of CC that will pop it probably. And again, the same with Anivia, that sort of thing. She sort of whittles you down. I feel like the value of crowns versus burst-wise just isn't there, and having just the raw damage to shred through the relatively squishy comp of off-roll is probably more valuable.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Going for a lane gank there, just waiting in that little alcove, but gets nothing.
Christian Simeone,
time now.
Alcove Gamer. That is his Tinder bio. And, oh, we're going back in. The wall's up. The stun
There's
misses.
another counter
but
gank ready
the
though.
stun does it,
And the TP.
The
Two
Money Man
teleports. The
Can
whole
Mouth
team's
lift
coming.
here? I think he can. And Root on the Viego. Anivia's egg is popped. Oh, that's not good for him. That's not good for off-roll.
Draft pick. And
It's the downside to
Bishan straight back to mid. Bishan straight back to mid lane, so he's not going to even lose too much, hopefully, on that mid tower. So that's just a dub.
We're going to see first turret here go to Psycho but Sweet, I would imagine, because Lucian on his own, he can't take down that tower. He doesn't have 2 planes.
Yep. The Singed is getting the push top lane, but I don't think he's going to get too much done there. I would question why Moneyman Flacco's staying for this long, given the fact that they can see the 2 solo laners and they killed the other 3. I'm sort of questioning a little bit why he's still there and not going back to top lane like Bishan did to answer mid lane. But, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully they don't lose top tower for that, because that would certainly negate some of the positive impact they just had.
Elmer Pache might be regretting his lack of a TP this game. I don't think he needs that ignite, to be entirely honest.
No. I think he was sort of relying on possibly being just disrespected early and making use of that ignite, because I don't see where else he would particularly need it other than late game, but he can just build an Oblivion Orb and just poison the whole enemy team and remove their healing that way instead of relying on our entire summon spell for it. I do agree with you. I don't think it's been very productive. We'll see that Dragon's spawning in 30 seconds. And meanwhile, both junglers are topside. So we're going to have to see who sort of gets there first and gets control. Mouth is sort of going in first, and he might be able to get some vision here. But he's going to have to be careful of the Cinch from just coming in and running him down.
Can we get a stack check on both on Vigar, Senna, and Kindred?
All right. Kindred's Vigar's 148. Senna's on 55, so it's 50 additional range. No, 40 additional range now. And Kindred's on 6 stacks, so it has, you know, that critical range upgrade and is 1 stack away from the further range upgrade.
Yeah, those Kindred stacks crept up a lot quicker than I thought. I thought it was only going to be 4 or 5. We're going to have off-roll starting to nuke this dragon, and Ozinox going in on the Anivia who doesn't have egg. That Anivia's 1 HP now. Not gone down yet. And there, oh, Anivia does go down. Elmer Pache is going to get CC'd up, and that's an overwhelming teamfight win for Psycho but Sweet, because they also picked
Baron,
up the Chemtech Drake. Triple kill from Money Man Flacco. Sheesh! They're going to go straight to Baron. D-Hero71 picking up the kill on Teasums. B-Shan has now 3 Shan kills to go with his 3 Shan deaths. 209 Senna and 018 Janna. That's a bot lane with a combined score of 2-1 and 17. It's a 19.0 KDA in the bot lane compared to a 1, 3, and 4. So that's a lot more pressure coming from Psycho but Sweet's bot lane at the moment.
You're not going to pull out the quick maths for me there and give me the exact KDA?
I mean, I could have done, but I didn't want to flex too hard, you know what I mean? I wasn't going to be like, oh, it's a 0.6.
Oh, that's a little bit of a shame, but oh well, it is what it is. But we saw there, actually, Psycho but Sweet as well recognized the fact that they didn't need Ozinox for that Baron. They didn't need his smite, so they could just allow Ozinox to go and get his red buff stack as well, taking away more jungle from Christian Simeone. And getting a further stack means he has the second range upgrade, I do believe, for a total of 100 bonus range, which is very, very nice for the Kindred. That's already quite ahead, and we're seeing that they're having no problems with the triple carry comp in the Kindred, Victor and Senna, because they're all winning their lanes. They're almost 10k gold ahead as a team. They have the Baron now, and they're at soul point. So even if they don't get a lot done with this Baron, just taking it off the table means they can just chill.
The Elmer Pache could be going down here, and that is going to be a pick from Ozinox, who picks up his 5th kill of the game, and I think Collect picked that one. That is so much damage.
It's just
yep, it's going to pop to the Collector on red buff. Double kill. This could be a penta. This could be a penta. I'm calling it now. No,
because B-Shan takes it away.
Stolen by the bee.
Thievery going
is
on.
Sting. That's it. This should be an inhib, to be honest, and that's going to be another stack when he goes and takes those wolves afterwards. This is not looking very good for off-roll. They are struggling.
Bishan clearly has no sense of gratitude for the fact that, you know, Ozinox was there to counter-gank, save his life multiple times. Just disrespecting his jungler, just taking the kills away.
Ozinox woke up angry today. This man was saying, no more shall I be beaten in the jungle. No more shall I be made to feel like a lesser man because of my pathing. He said, not today, sir. And he looked at Diego in the eye and he said, you're gonna get ruined, king.
Yeah, he certainly did. I mean, me saying more competent earlier by accident may have been apparently flaming, but it definitely feels like it's proving true this game. He has been all over the map, counter ganking, frustrating Christian at every stage. I really feel like he's had an excellent game and has allowed his entire team to just get ahead as a whole as well. Just worked really well. And obviously Moneyman Flacco winning top, bot lane I'd say winning as well, or at least definitely winning actually, and also given the fact that they had all of the Viego pressure bot lane as well, they were just getting ganked again and again and again and still managed to survive. So I struggle to see a way that off-roll Aquarium managed to pull this game back now. They are at less than half the number of kills. 12 and a bit K gold down, 12.2k, 13k, something like that. And they're looking towards bot side here to just crack open this inner
I think
tower.
they can just run at him here because he's got a cage, and yep, Mal hitting the stun. Ozanok's getting another kill. 824 on the Kindred, putting on a clinic. We have seen a completed Zhonya's on the Victor as well, and a full rapid fire cannon near enough all there, as well as a stopwatch for the Kindred. So if they jump on him, he can get them. That's going to be a dead Viego unless he can ult out in time. He can't. And that's so much damage, Lord.
It is criminal how much damage this Kindred does. But I mean, that's what happens when Kindred gets fed, though. It's
does indeed. He's 3 items against 1.5-ish on the Viego. That's a strong man. Very strong man.
They put a lot of effort into denying the stacks from camps early on, but they failed to deny him as well getting stacks from kills and assists.
Oh,
so,
Elmer Pache is going to be picked up here, I believe. Yep.
not just tanking there, had to use his stopwatch there to just make sure he lived. Didn't tank turret up too much.
Very much could be game. It's the Viego's up in 3 and 3 on the Anivia, but they are just going to end the game.
Yeah, it's very over. It's very over. They don't even need that Chemtech soul. Don't need to all have Scion passive. It's just